Hello, everyone. Welcome back in the talk show. To be honest, with DK. Hey, guys. I've started getting regular. Last Friday, we had a guest talking about money quotient and emotionally how it was tagged, how you can improve on that. Today, I have an amazing guest with me to talk about the fitness part of it. We all are very conscious nowadays, especially this next generation or a new generation. They keep talking about fitness freak. Physically fitness is something very important for everyone. And I'm sure you must be knowing it that beyond physical fitness, there is something which we need to get into is emotional fitness. Why do we need it? People may say it, oh, is it? Is it so necessary? Is it a need or a necessity? We hear it from our guest today. So let me welcome my amazing guest today, Manikandan MS. Let me introduce my guest to you. Welcome, Mani, and give me
Hi.
the honor to introduce you first. Guys, Manikandan, we call him Mani. It's a beautiful name. Money money. I used to feel money. We call it a jewel. In Hindi, I don't know if there's a meaning of money, something like that only, but it's like a jewel for us. So money is an emotional fitness coach, and he helps professionals to get better at handling their emotions so that they can lead a fulfilled and meaningful life. It is not always that you have everything in life, you have money, you have bank balances, you have properties, you are still happy, not sure. So he actually is letting people reach to that fulfillment and the meaningfulness of life. Money has around 2 decades of corporate experience with domestic and international organizations. His expertise in professional life, combined with eagerness to know about human thoughts and feelings, led him to learn and explore what is that makes all of us an emotional being. How intelligent and how smart that is. It is so interesting that it's not only you keep working, you keep moving forward and not focusing on what exactly are you as a person, as an emotional being. So he actually has explored quite a lot of things. Now, with all that, Mani has learned and continue to learn, and he's serving back to people through these mediums, through his programs, and through a lot of other ways. And his circle of influence, people are getting influenced with whoever he knows it. He is approaching as many people as possible and empowering them to be emotionally fit and healthy. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for being my guest on my talk show today. To be honest with DK, Mani, welcome you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Davinder. It's a deep honor to be in your talk show. Thank you for
Great.
welcoming me.
Thank you so much for being there. So, while I was introducing you, that is something as a formal part of what people know about you. In this talk show, we
Yes.
go a little live, and what we try to understand why that person is talking about this topic. There must be something in him. So, the more introduction from your side. What are you? How have you been till what you have reached to? So, something about you, we will love to hear from you. Yes, Mani.
Definitely, Davinder. Yes. So, thank you. I mean, you gave a great introduction. You said a lot of good words, kind words for me. I'm blessed. So, yeah, you covered most of it, like what I have done, what I'm doing currently, and how I'm helping people, definitely. But this was not just out of one fine day, I decided that I will do this. It was a journey, I will definitely say. So, the journey of my life. If you see, like I had about, you were telling about almost 2 decades of corporate experience, and prior to that, it always used to be fascinating or interesting for me to deal with people. I used to make friends and get along with people. I mean, I don't know. Today, I have friends right from my third or fourth standard who I am in touch with, whom I get. I mean, I basically like to be with people, to, and as you rightly said, we are all emotional beings. Various challenges come in our life, various things happen every day, be it something small, be it something big. And I used to be like approach or help them or give some random ideas. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And many times people used to come back and say, hey, that really worked. And I used to say, oh, good, you're happy. That's enough. It gives me immense satisfaction. And over the period of time, I discovered that I love doing it. I love helping people in handling their emotions, or at least giving them a ear to listen what are they going through, and then probably give solutions. And like in my corporate life, though everything, like what do we do in the office, in the corporate world, it used to be people come, they have their deliverables, they have their work, and all those things. So for me, in addition to that, I used to have a personal bonding or a connection with a lot of people, right? From my managers, from my subordinates, from my peers, to that level that we used to know what's really happening. I used to know what's literally happening in their lives. And they used to be happy sharing it to me. And once in a while, we used to go over a cup of coffee and then I have this challenge, this is happening. What do you think? I mean, it used to be so friendly. I used to say, why don't you do this, do that? And then a few things worked out. And so that bonding and relationship made me realize that I think I can go beyond what I'm doing. Now I could go to a bigger group. I can reach out to more people in the world. Why just my people within that small group? So that led me to the path that I have chosen now, and I'm doing that. So basically, coaching people to be emotionally fit.
Amazing. Amazing to know that, since there always been some or the other thing which actually clicked, or some or the other thing which pops you up in doing what you've been doing. So that was somehow about your introduction. Let's do a little deep dive and let me touch any specific incident which made you think through this to do it, because there must be, see, today, if I am touching this question to you today, they're targeting younger generation. They are right now not experienced too many things as yet, and they come across and they can get into a difficult world, or when they come out of schools and colleges and they actually get into the corporate world. You've been into corporate world, I am into corporate world, and we've seen people around, and definitely what you spoke, well, I was also correlating somewhere. Yes, I also do that. I used to call myself solution provider so, in a similar terms. But somewhere something has to click sometime. Hey, it's enough. Okay, now this is something what I have to do it. Doing it just on a daily life is something different. But what was in something happened which actually took you to that level?
Yeah, yeah. So if I go back, if I think about what happened or something like that, so I, see, normally they say that your own experiences or your own life story, everyone's basically is so powerful, or like some tough times that we went through or the hardships that we went through are really so powerful that if you overcome that and you come out of that, you may want no one else to go through the same thing or similar thing,
Yes.
and that could be your biggest drive. And for me, I think many such things added to this drive. Maybe if I may say, it was not just one. So I used to be not how you see like this today. I used to be a very kind of shy and kind of introvert, and I mean, I never used to even come out in public, and I used to be that over a period of time. And again, these things, like I that realization kicked in to me. Basically, if I would say, after I got into the corporate world, because till then I was like, for about initially 20 years of my life, I was like away from everything. Even in my college days, I used to be really shy talking to girls in the class, and I used to be like literally away from many things. But then once I entered into the corporate world, I started to realize, man, this is something more. I started seeing something new in me. And over the journey, my experiences, my relationships that I had with many people around, and with my own personal experiences, added to that the surroundings. Because I till then did not realize what is that I like doing. It was just like, okay, do your studies, complete your formal education, get into a job. I was going in that pace, and that continued for a long time. But over this journey, the best part that I enjoyed was the company of a lot of people, and then like I was just saying, and there were some very specifically to say there were some hard times or maybe moments in life wherein I felt that why is this happening with me? Maybe personal choices because of which I opted for. I got really hurt in several things, either from the corporate world or even in the personal terms, in family, in relationships. And those moments did put me down. But that's when I think the realization start kicking into me that, man, what's happening? But then I somehow managed. I used to come out of it. This happened a couple of times. And then I realized now I'm much better. Now I can handle anything. I mean, I do get. I'm also an emotional being. I also get angry. I also get happy. I also get sad. But then I don't try to stick on to that for a long time. I can change my state very fast, and that is what I used to help others. Why don't you do this, man? Just change. This is possible. That is doable, and then it used to work. And then it started. Oh, how did I learn? I didn't learn this from books initially. It came through my experiences, my life experiences, whatever hardships or things that I had to see. But looks like interesting. So that's what led me to this particular thing. And the thing, if you ask me, Devinder, particularly what I discovered initially, I thought it was all about relationships. I mean, at first level, I thought everything is relationship. Oh, people are finding not getting hard times in relationship, or like you rightly pointed out, uh, that aspect when I saw youth of today, who are so, I must say this, who are so emotionally delicate. They crumble down for small things. People are not able to handle exam pressure, not able to handle the study, the thing that they have to complete. The study is the course, what they have to handle. And because of this, I see around that people going to any extreme levels. Come on, it's just an exam. You have a long life. You have so many things to do in life, man. Exam or a test cannot decide your identity or your future or many things. So then these things used to bother me a little. I mean, like, no, this is what's happening is not right. Why are people so emotionally weak for small things? And then along with my help, I started learning about it. I started getting more into it, so I could relate to what's being like today the popular thing is emotional intelligence. So I did a course on emotional intelligence, and they're like, wow, this is interesting, this I could just relate to. And I took on this journey, Ravinder.
Amazing.
And it's just the
Amazing.
beginning. I have a lot of work to do. I know. I have a lot to do.
Yes. So, people who are watching us live, you can put your questions also for Money to respond to you, how you can actually work your challenges out and be emotionally fit. So, we have been talking about the specific how to be emotionally fit. So, while he was giving his introduction, while he was talking about what made him become what he has become, my next question comes to you, Money, while it can help people who are there watching us live or may watch us at the recorded version. Uh, what are the tips specifically you would like to give to the people who, let's say, get stuck in any kind of a situation tomorrow? Let's say you took an example of kids facing exams and then getting too much of emotional weakness, or new employees who are there into the market not getting through jobs, or it could be already there in the job but not being able to sustain it. So or there could be a possibility, they're having a scarcity of thought process कि मेरा ये job कल चला ना जाए. I am into the abundance right now in terms of my money, but see, there is a question coming up, in fact, from a Facebook user. He says, I am stuck in a situation. How to make sure that you come out and emotionally fit enough to be handle that situation when you find yourself stuck? So any tips for those people, please?
Yes, definitely. Valid. Very much. Albeit in the school and college life that you said about kids, or also in the corporate world and everyday's lives. Why just talk about every time we have these challenges every day, every moment we could face at any moment this challenge. It's not just about one type or one day. So if you ask me in tips, there are a lot of tips, but one thing which I would want to say is a very important and valid tip, which I myself practice and I found it great, amazing, and I would say that everybody should do. That will really help you to be balanced. And that's one secret mantra which I feel it's amazing, because there are a lot of things that I can say. You do this. I can give the list, but I would just want to say one thing, one tip, which is basic thing, which we all miss in our daily life, which we don't realize, which we know but we don't do. And that one tip
Yes.
is being grateful for what we have. Gratitude. Each one of us, our journeys are different. Our journey in life, we go through different things. You cannot compare yourself with other person. Each one's blessings are different, each one's. But what blessings you have in your life? What is that you can be grateful about? If you think for a moment, that can really shift, and we must know the right way of doing it. Normally people talk about it at a very top level, but people don't know at the deep level what all things that you can be grateful about. I mean, you have your parents, be grateful, man. There are people who don't know who are their parents also. You have a house, be thankful. People are there on the streets. You're having your food
Yes.
every day. You're complaining about your problems. You're having food 3 times a day. You have money with you, basic money, when whatever it is, any matter, any area you touch upon. I have felt that with many people, whenever I have interacted, whenever I've coached, I realize that that gratitude mode or that gratefulness is missing. When you start to realize what all good things that you have, you really feel, I mean, your life itself, like every day in the morning when you wake up and you say, thank God I'm alive today, that itself is a great thing, right? How many people are there who see the very next day? Many people just don't see the very next day. They don't get a chance to be alive so that they can do something in life. That itself is a thing that we can be grateful about. So I would say that is a very primary. If you ask me the list of, I have so many tips you're asking for. Out of that, what is the number one tip? If you ask me, I want to just indicate this is the number one tip. Be grateful and thankful for whatever we have in life. Everybody. And be it at any stage, be it a college student, be it a person who is at the work, man, you have a job, be grateful, right? You're not growing in your career,
Yeah.
at least you have a job, right? People are there. We know the last pandemic and all has hit lakhs of people are there without a job. Why don't, if you think for a moment, you should be grateful. I have a job, I'm earning, I'm taking care of my family because of this. So that's one aspect which has been missing, which I see a lot of people don't realize, and that's what maybe a tip that everybody should take in, and not just it as a tip, they should start implementing it in the right way.
I'm thankful to all the people who are joining us live.
Thanks,
I can
Devinder.
see some of them joining in today. And thank you. We would like to hear it from you. Let the questions keep flowing. Whoever wants to ask any question from Mani, we have been grinding him to find out how can one be emotionally fit. And it is a necessity than a need. Obviously, it crops up from a requirement or a need, but it has become a necessity of life if you want to have, achieve great heights, have everything in your life, be emotionally fit. So while you're giving money, I also recollect, when I there was a time when I had lost my job few years ago, and there was a big gap period. Though I was working continuously for my own IT homegrown firm, but then that satisfaction of being full time into a job with all that what you want to do was missing out. And your gratitude thing worked well with me, very well. And I also was into this kind of a scenario where I was actually saying, oh man, I have everything in my life, it's just a job, I'll get that also. So it just turned in a very short period of time in the pandemic when people were losing it, I got through. So exactly, this is
Yes,
where I also
it changes your
very
perspective. Yeah,
well. So
the way
true,
of
so
seeing
true.
your life itself gets you 360-degree. You see it in a different way. You experienced it. Yeah, very true.
It's exactly the way. So gratitude is something which definitely helps. Any other tip, apart from, let's say, college kid or a school kid preparing for an exam, and finals are approaching in month of February end or March, how would they cope up and be emotionally fit to be able to deal with that mindset, or that kind of anxious behavior, or that kind of fear which they get out of the exam time? Any specific tip for them too?
Yes, Devinder, definitely. For all the people whom you said, college going, exam pressure, tension, all this that they are facing, and not knowing how to be emotionally, one thing that they can do is see the bigger picture, expand your context. normally what happens, people just see that small picture. Oh, test, exam, that's my life, day and night, no sleep, no eating, struggle, literally trying to mug up things. For a moment, think of the bigger picture. What would happen? What is the worst that can happen? Fine. What is the worst that can happen? You have if you don't pass out the exam, or if you don't, and that itself, what can happen? I still believing I can write my exam maybe once again, even if I get flunked, or there are other opportunities, right? What if I get lower marks? Even if I just pass, it's not that all the people who are getting the first mark or the first rank are the successful people. Life is not like that. But that context,
Yes.
people go so much into that context, and then students and people you see, they are like, no, this is my deciding, this will decide my future. No. Even if you get the topmost mark, you're not going to be. That doesn't mean that you're going to be successful or a highly great person in life. And we all know the people today who are highly successful. If that's what I said, bigger picture. Maybe the big CEOs or founders or high, they're all college dropouts, man. They are not the people who
Yeah.
got the first rank and they have done something great. So, and they are
Yes.
the people who have employed people, or they are the people who have taken to jobs people who are toppers. So the topper is not always the person who gets the first mark. So you need to expand the context. That's what I would say for the college goers, people who are under the exam pressure, peer pressure. No. Like even parents, for an example, they also don't know. They also try to put it on the kids that you need to do this marks, you need to get first number pe aa jao, then it only is your future. Our education system is set up like that. But does it mean the kids also in today's generation see the look? They should expand the context and see things in a much better way, and that will give them, like I said, what the worst can happen. Okay, fine, and then that gives them a clarity. Now they'll have much more clarity, and they can be fit, I would say, and they will do well, much well in the exams and their tests, than it would have been otherwise.
So true. In fact, tell me, parents, how
Yes.
many of you remember your marks of ninth, 8th, or 11th, let's say 10th or 12th, obviously, could be, very remarkable stage where you would remember, oh, मेरे को 10th में इतना percentage आया था, 12th में. But 8th, 9th, 11th, why to pressure? So, the kids, the important piece right now here is to understand at the depth what exactly are you studying instead of how much are you getting as a marks out of that subject, because that is something at this age today, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So what matters is what you learn over a period of time, how much you retain, what exactly are you applying in your life as a learning. Amazing thing. So Mani,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
next. Yeah,
Marks are
thank
not
you
the
so
deciding
much.
for your life. That should get in. Yeah.
Amazing tip for the kids. So the very next question, Mani, we talked about gratitude, we talked about increasing our context, we talked about how to be emotionally fit. There must be something you follow as a daily routine. We today we talk about it for an half an hour, and once we are out, not there live, people may over a period of time forget. People may okay, I heard it remembered for a while, and then they lose it somewhere. But if it needs to be imbibed in a daily life, is there any routine do you follow? Any suggestions for people who are watching us? What do you follow as a daily routine to make sure that you are emotionally fit, you are taking care of how it is supposed to go like?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. My daily routine, yes. Again, all these are part of my life, expressing gratitude and all that. And whatever I try, whenever I am also no different than anybody who is watching us live here. I'm also a human being. It's not that I'm always in the same steady state at all point of time. Happens, right? We are all surrounded by people, we are all surrounded by all the challenges that we have in life, and ups and downs are part of life, and that's why we are an emotional being. We cannot always be up, we cannot always be down, and it cannot be a straight line also. If it's a straight line, oh, I'll not react to anything, I'll not do anything. That's not possible. If it's a straight graph, right, like our ECG graph, it has to be up and down. If it is one straight line, that means khatam. It cannot be.
That's my
So
favorite line you used.
every day I also have my own. Okay. So I do practice in my daily life the principle of gratitude, and in addition to the I also feel there are different things, which is basically today's, again, if you see a lot of people, they don't have a proper routine or a schedule and how to do things. When things go random, havoc. If you ask me, principle, right from the time of waking up to the night, many people don't have even control of what's happening in their day-to-day routines. It's like random, kuch bhi ho jaye, let's go. Okay, some people, like people are working, or people in this college. 10 o'clock is the office, 10 o'clock is the college. Wake up at 9:30, get ready, push, and then go over there. Then whatever stress that they deal with it whole day, and then come back and they don't know what to do, and then come back, sit in front of a TV. There are a lot of things these days. We are in a. I always tell this to a lot of people who I coach, and also tell that we are in an age of information overload. What you have to do, information
Amazing.
is there everywhere. Take Google; it has answer for any questions that you want. Any question you want, you have an answer in this world. Okay.
Yes.
Because of that, people are missing some basic things that we want in life. The basic things that they need to follow. A routine. Being physically active, which I do it every day, is one of the things which can keep you emotionally also active. It's a direct correlation between scientific studies. I'm not just talking about high terms. Scientific. Whatever I follow, I try to justify it or bias it with scientific studies and researchers that has been there. It's been clearly proven that you physically active, be it going to the gym, be it walking, be it being, releases such happy hormones in your body, for that matter. You feel very good about yourself. Morning you do a physical routine and then you go to your office, you do your work, you feel much good about that day. You take sunlight for a day, you do this meditation. These are for mental exercises, I'm telling, which I do. Meditation, yoga, all this, everybody knows. From outside, if you ask me, you ask anybody, is meditation good? Is yoga good? I don't think anybody would say no. Everybody would agree to it. But are you doing it? Are you following it? These are small practices. Take some time out for yourself and do these things and see how you can be much better and emotional. Emotion is no different. It is not a separate aspect of life. It is interconnected with physical as well as mental well-being also. These days, physical fitness is a main topic, which I would definitely appreciate. It is a must. Everywhere people are talking about how to be healthy, how to be physically fit, active, go to gym, do this, do that. You have lifestyle diseases. Absolutely. Everything is correct. That in turn will also contribute to a part of your emotional fitness. Understand that. And doing it definitely is going to show you the results. People know if I go do this, it will be good. But are you doing it? Knowing and not doing is not knowing. So doing
Yeah. Wow.
is very important.
Knowing and not doing is not knowing, guys. This is the statement we should stick to and get alarmed. Are you knowing it? Yes, I know about it. But are you doing it? That's more important. So physically fitness actually helps you to be emotionally fit. And in fact, Mani, I'm sure you must be talking about mental fitness too, along with physical fitness. And you talked about meditation. In fact, while doing the healing, we also had worked out on our body chakras to make sure that we are mentally fit. And how it started up with a very basic thing, that your thought process has to be clear. Your mentally alignment with what you do has to be clear. I'm sure emotionally somewhere it must be having some kind of connectivity to that too. That if you are always keep thinking wrong or negative about people, having a jealousy, or that students having a marks competition, hey, how can that guy gets it more, I get it less? Obviously, those things may be impacting high on the emotional fitness too. So I'm sure. So that also helps.
It definitely impacts. Definitely, each small aspect that definitely impacts our well-being. Yeah.
Perfect. So while coming now to the last section of my program here, since the time doesn't permit me too much of a time, otherwise I love talking to you. How are you now helping people? What is it you're doing for the society, and how you're doing it so that people can improve their emotional fitness? And just tell about how you're doing it, the program or anything which you have. Yeah.
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I had a small.
You went on
issue,
mute actually.
like.
I just removed that. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, very much.
Oh, sorry. I had a small network issue. Could you repeat the
Okay,
question?
my
Once
question
again?
to you is, yeah, my last question, in fact, of the program is, what is it
Hello?
as a program or as
Yeah,
a
if you could just repeat
or
for me,
as a
please.
social?
I missed the last portion.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just doing it. So, what are your plans for the society? How are you
Yeah.
helping people? You can tell about your program or tell about what
So,
exactly are
could
you
you just
doing.
repeat the question? The last portion I missed.
I think there's a lag.
Could you repeat the question for me once again?
Okay, I'm asking about your program. I'm asking about your plan to help society. What exactly are you doing? Making people emotionally fit. Can you hear?
Okay, okay, I get it. So, yeah. So, I have this set of programs which I'm taking for people. Uh, I'm like, yep, I can hear you. Am I audible? Okay. So, basically, I conduct programs. I have my own level of programs which I deal or I conduct to people who are like really need help. Basically, I also do my one-on-one coachings, one-on-one trainings with a lot of people who really need help in terms of people who know me reach out to me, and I'm also now getting presence in the social media as well. So I do that with my one-on-one coachings where I can impact people, and also I have my group coachings wherein I have my program, and that.
I think we've lost him as a network connecting issue. While he comes back, guys, he was talking about emotionally being fit. So, continuing with the thought process, maybe by the time he comes back on the link again, so sharing with you my experiences, in fact. So, emotionally fit, I was not into that situation earlier at all. And I had gone through extreme level of uh, literally an extreme level of being emotionally weak, angry, or fear, all that. And yeah, money is back. While I was money, you were aware I was talking about how I have gone through a lot of emotional weaknesses earlier, and there are some practices I followed which made
Okay.
me work emotional fitness. So you're back. So let's answer hear out your program now.
Yes, yes. So I was just talking about it. So I have my program, which I normally take people, and then it's a one program where I take them through what is that they really need to practice and many concepts that we have forgot from our basics. I teach people in that. I coach people in that. Along with that, I also do one-on-one coachings with a lot of people who need immediate help, who are facing through challenging situations, who don't know what is that to be done, and who really need help, so I do that one-on-one coachings at the moment, and I have my program also, which really helps people, and people have seen changes. People are seeing the transition, that how their thought process used to be before and how it is now, and they started to see a lot of things, and it's very simple and easy ways which I just teach people what they've forgotten in life to be emotionally fit. Basically, we are all are emotionally healthy beings from our birth, but we have forgotten a lot of things over the, and I teach them, I imbibe that to them, and that's what I feel helps them.
Amazing, amazing. So people who are live looking at it and would see the recorded version, you can get connected with Money on his Facebook group, Be Emotionally Fit. He can leave his details on the comment section too for you if you want to get connected with him and hear more about his program. Want to see how you can stay emotionally fit if you are a one who get too anxious very quickly, you are the one who get a lot of fearful factors. I mean, you get scared with small things. If you are the one who feel very depressed or low or emotionally very unstable, I would urge you to come forward. You can write down to us, you can write to me, you can write to Money, you can share your thought processes in the comments here. We will be able to help you through. So it was an amazing talk. Mani, and I had a privilege of inviting you, and really it was a blessing that for all the people who are watching us could hear what it it becomes, it makes you being emotionally fit. It helps you in all the directions. It helps you everywhere. So be physically fit. I'm sure you guys are very already conscious. Be conscious for emotionally fitness too. Anything as a last tip from you or a last word from you, Mani?
Thank you. Um, the last word that I would say is you're almost in the same lines which I wanted to conclude. Guys, do we have, yeah, so everybody in life needs to be emotionally fit. And these days, particularly these days after the pandemic, it has increased more that I see. Earlier, it used to be not very serious, or it used to be there alone. But these days, with people getting confined to the homes, with people not having access to the outside world, not having such open way of going out and dealing with everything, so it's really becoming challenge. I see with a lot of people when I talk with, they feel that life has turned. Yeah, life has in fact turned. The pandemic has brought a 360-degree turn to the way in which we live and things. But we will evolve out of all this. We need to see things in a better way. We need to come out of this and be emotionally fit. That's very important, along with physical fitness. Don't lose hope. Don't lose your path. Things will come back to normal. Everything will change. But if you go down and you're not going to come back, that's the saddest part about the thing. So stay emotionally fit, work towards getting emotionally fit, and be happy.
Great. Thanks a lot. Guys,
That's all
this
that
was
is there.
Mani. This was Mani.
Thank
We're
you.
talking about emotionally fit. He's the emotionally fitness coach. You can reach out. And I am here, Devinder Kaur, your host for To Be Honest with the DK, the talk show which brings in a lot of different people for you who can help you, the next generation, to have that, what we took time as an experience for a longer period of time. You can have it now. You can, through our experiences, you can learn a lot of good things and take next steps, more profound, more effective, and more successful being in life. So our purpose is solved when you guys are in safe mode. You guys are growing in a right format. So thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you so much everyone who joins us later. Thank you, Mani, for joining in the show. And it was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Devinder. Thank you. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity. And thanks to everybody who has been watching us, who's been listening to us, and who will listen to us later. So, guys, all the very best, everybody, and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.